Hi everybody, Kathy here from Pintail Paddocks. Nice to catch up with you again. I hope that you're all well. I have got a bit of a lucky shoulder. My goat jumped up on me. I apologise for that. Anyway, I thought it would be good today to share with you so that you don't feel too bad. I feel bad enough for both of us, or all of us, to be honest. But share my garden as it is. So, warts and all, I thought that this would be a good one to see because I've got stuff all over this place, stuff that I haven't planted, but I'm not being harsh on myself, and neither should you. All we can do is our best and work with that, really. So, here we go. So, we'll start with the dog and said goat that keeps on jumping up on my shoulder. So, he gets up on top of their trampoline and then jumps up on my shoulder and wants me to pick his bum up to give him a cuddle. But yes, so I'm always chatty, and my husband says, "Why are you always chatty?" Well, it's because of the goats. Right, on to the veg. Now, I did say veg, but I planted these sunflowers to create a line of sunflowers. However, in hindsight, I wished I'd have planted them in groups. So next year I'll be planting them in groups. A, they'll look lovely. B, they'll be amazing for pollinators. And C, they will feed my animals, which is what I want them to do. So I've got a little table there, which can be used for plants. I haven't used it much this year. This is willow that we took down that I use. This is said squash of some kind. Remember, my squash fell over and I couldn't remember which ones were which because all the labels and everything went everywhere, along with a lot of other stuff in my polytunnel. So they're all looking very well and growing nicely. Let's see if I think there's a squash up here somewhere. So there we are. There's one there. So that's coming on, and I know somewhere in amongst all of this vegetation is one there. But because it's cardboard under there, I'm going to put something else under there so that it's not something that's soggy. Maybe a tile or something like that. My compost pile's coming on, so new lot of poo on there. And that's the other one, so that one's coming up. I've put that over the top so that this net over the top so that it can climb up and over there. And then we start to find areas that are a bit more messy. So over here we've got stuff that hasn't been planted. The banana plant's coming on nicely though. I've got here celery, so I've got that there. So that's all coming on nice. But I've got some other bits and bobs up here that I haven't planted yet. So that's my area here. I need to get this one in because these are artichokes, but I've got yet more celery there, but I will be putting them in. I've got more squash here. I've got squash around the corners of the paddock. This is a rose. If anybody can tell me its leaves are going yellow, I don't know whether it's too much water or not enough water. I don't really want to replant it yet, but maybe I need to. I don't know. I think this is it's a strawberry, definitely, but I think it's like the wild strawberries. I think my daughter gave it to me and I think I'd given up on it, but actually it's come back to life. And then, as you can see, lots of celery. I think I'll put some of those in the polytunnel. Then we have a messy area that I generally put all my junk, but again here we've got some dahlias that I haven't put in yet. My mum's rose, bless her. And then up here, this one's not doing too well either, but I put some of the peas in, sweet peas, as I have down the bottom, but up there they haven't done so well. I think that obviously sweet peas need lots of water. That didn't work, but it was a go. I put a dahlia, just shoved a dahlia in there because I had a spare one. As you can see, I've got a few. I put these sticks in ages ago, and they're still alive because I've got extra bits of willow growing. I don't mind the willow growing though because I can feed it to the animals and they like that. So. And here are my potatoes, so I need to do that potato review and see which ones are better, the ones in the ground or the ones in the pots. Not that you can really see the pots at the moment. So that's those. I put these are looking so sad. I put these in here. This one just come available because we exploded it. If you can see around the sides, I need to cut these off. I know that it's very dangerous, so those will come off soon. I keep catching my clothes and ruining them. But yeah, and I've got another one there, so I'll have quite a few for next year. That one is coming on okay. I moved him away from the raspberries. This bed, so I need to weed it. It has lettuce, onions, no, sorry, not lettuce, spinach, onions, and turnip. We have eaten most of the turnip, but I need to get some more on. Here we've got carrots that need to be thinned out. I have already thinned them out once, but looks like I need to do them again. And there are onions around the outside. So wherever I put carrots, I put onions around the outside. So and if you notice, they're not covered, so I'm taking my chances. Now, I don't know whether you had the winds the other day, but we did, and I thought I was going to lose my raspberry. So I put a string up here onto the IBC to try and keep it up. But as you can see, I haven't done a pick today, but there are absolutely loads of raspberries. So I'll do a pick. I've made some blackcurrant and raspberry jam, which is lovely. But looks like I can be making some more. So I'm just going to be picking them and freezing them so that then I can put them in. Over here, I put some sweet peas in the thought that they would grow up into the hedgerow. However, they haven't done so brilliantly. They have been watered regularly, but they haven't been overly happy. Last year I put them in the ground. That didn't work either because the vegetation just took over. So not sure what I'll do with them. I think I'll just grow sweet peas, in big tubs next year. And just for my own pleasure, really. So the potatoes that are here have all come on okay. So they're all right. This was another disaster with the wind. So that was some peas down there, but they haven't done very well. Thankfully, my raspberries have, which makes up for everything. So here are some more. And they are lovely. I'll print that one. And then down here, I do have some blueberries coming. So I have had one, but that one's not quite ready. But that plant there is definitely more prolific. I don't know which one, what type that is, but I shall be taking cuttings in the autumn to grow some more because that one is far more prolific. This was my blackcurrant. I cut it back, as said last year, but I didn't get an awful lot of currants off of it. This was my mum's blackcurrants, and these are diddly tiny, so tiny, but they were absolutely full with blackcurrants. So I should be taking more cuttings off of those because of that one there. My gooseberry, if anybody understands why my gooseberry is not flowering and I get gooseberries, I don't know, it looks really healthy, really happy, but no flowers, no gooseberries. And again, here it all needs weeding back. What I've started doing is putting some of the animal bedding down as a mulch, and that's helping with keeping the weeds down, and also it's going to be feeding the ground. So as you can see, I've got netting on the floor. It was up and over, but I don't know how, but the whitefly were the butterflies were getting in there. So the cabbage white, so I just have taken it off and just leaving it to its chances. Here we've got some sweet peas at the end. Oh, they do smell gorgeous. I do love sweet peas. And in amongst there, because I wasn't sure which ones were sweet peas and which were peas, because all my labels lost their names, I just shoved them all in together. So that's not such a bad thing. So I've got a few there that we can harvest. Over here, we had mange tous here. These are my carrots that have gone to seed. And they did look lovely, but with the wind, they've all blown over, so I need to do something about this. And I have started putting some lettuce in here, so I need to finish doing that. Up here, this is my thornless blackberry. So as you can see, I've got my blackberries coming on there. So that's quite good. However, I again have got a willow that has decided to come off one of the sides here. So I've just pulled that one off. The animals can have that, but it's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'll go back to where I was, around where the potatoes are, where I was, and my hosta has been engulfed. Look at this artichoke though. That's gone mad, that one. So I don't mind them going mad in here because I can always separate. I know that people say that they're a bit of a thug, but I can separate them and put them elsewhere. But at least they've come on this year. The calendula's looking lovely, and I can put that in the nest boxes for the chickens as well, so they can eat it, and they can also it helps to keep bugs away. So here we have my biggest sunflower yet. I wasn't sure it was going to last the other day in the storms, but it's still going, so that's good. I've got one there. I don't know what's happened to that one, and that one's not looking so good either. Calendula there again. Beetroot, borage. So that one's just self-seeded itself from somewhere. Some more beetroot. Down here, some lettuce that's gone to seed. And then these cost lettuces that are just going over. So I've taken most of them out. Just need to take the rest of them out for the chickens and for the goats. And I've got some more artichokes there. So what I probably will do is bring them on a little bit and then sell them. But they're all looking pretty healthy, so that's good. And then down here, I've got my Acer, Japanese maple, looking nice. I have got mulch down here, which has helped keep the weeds down. And down here, I have tidied this bed out a little bit. And there are some sunflowers in there as well. So then over here, this is my other bed. So this is the car park area. And then in here, I've put lavender, which loves it. I've got some lemon thyme. I've got some sunflowers and some more lavender. And the lavender and the sunflower seem to be okay together. I wasn't sure, and I wasn't sure whether to put them in, but actually they seem to be okay. So I'm quite happy with that. My fruit trees are coming on. They're not bearing fruit yet. Let's have a look at them. So they're not bearing fruit yet, but they will in the future. Everything's future proofing, and I can't wait for that cherry one. So that would be nice. The one thing that has happened in the wind, and probably better now than later, is this back of my polytunnel is lifted. So I'm going to have to get that dug right out and then pop that back in and then fill it over the top. And I might even put some stones on either side or something, but make sure that it's in as far as it can go, because I don't want to lose that. So if we make our way back up here and through where the Mons 2 are and the sweet peas, we've got the leftovers of the strawberries, and then I've got some lovely dahlias, and the yellow ones, they just flower and flower and flower. So that's lovely, and then I can take some to take back to the flat, which is lovely. So in here, in my polytunnel, I've got more beetroot. I have taken some beetroot out. It's the first time that I've done it in the air fryer, and I've got a steamer function, so I did it on the steamer function and it came out brilliantly. So I've made my first lot of beetroot, so I'm going to be taking some more of that because it was so easy. I was putting it off because I thought it might be a nightmare, but actually it was so easy. So here, obviously lots of different tomatoes. I don't know all of them because they got muddled, but if I try and get you in here, is it going to focus? I can't see, the leaves are in front of my eyes. Right. So I've got tomatoes coming on these, and I've got flowers. Now I know that it's a raised bed, and people say, oh, you can't grow them. Well, you can grow them so much, and then I just top them off. So, and it's all working for me. I've got my liquid feed there, which is bananas. And when I'm taking the leaves off of the tomatoes, because I don't want there to be too many leaves and for them to start getting damp or anything like that, or mouldy, mildewy, I'm putting them in there or just throwing them on the floor, and then they can go in the compost. But I figure that putting them back into themselves would be a good thing. So I'm adding them to my banana mix. It doesn't smell, so that's an added bonus. And I mix, I've got this one here, and I mix about one of those in with a watering can, and I water those with that twice a week. So I think about one watering can does about 4 plants. So it's about a quarter of a watering can per plant. And then obviously I water them. They get watered twice a week. So that's those. So they're doing all right. This one here and this one here were offshoots that took. So I just left them, and this one's obviously the stronger one of the two, but I thought I'd give it a go. Steve from Greenside Up used to say that, so I've gone with what he said and it worked. I've got, that is a lunchbox pepper, and that is a normal pepper. They have been attacked. I've been told to put diatomaceous earth around there because they've said that it's the beetle. Oh, I've just noticed there's a tomato there on the floor, so I don't know where that one's come from. Definitely not from the pepper. So here I've got my other tomato. Now this one is, so it helps if you have your glasses on. I think, let me just have a quick look. Sun Gold Cherry. So I'm looking forward to having some of those. Some more that have gone to seed, so I'm just going to collect seed for those. Now this one was a volunteer, but obviously tomatoes on there and amongst my chives, so that's okay. I don't mind. I'm happy for a little bit of everything. Here we have at this end broccoli, at the other end we've got sprouts. Lovely, it's starting to rain. I've got onions that I need to plant, so I've got spring onions. I think I've got some grass in there. I've got walking onions, I've got kale. So some of it's just gone no good because it's been in the polytunnel too long. I bought it out and now I need to get it planted on. Like I say, you know, some of the time I'm on top of it, some of the time I can't, because there's just too much going on. I'm waiting for my alpacas to unpack and different things going on in life. So, and that's another one of my dahlias. I love the colour when it first opens, and then when it opens more, you get that beautiful, beautiful yellow coming through. Gorgeous. They're only short stem ones though, so no good for flower arranging or anything like that, unlike these, which are brilliant. And these are pretty good for flower arranging. And look at that deep colour. Beautiful. Anyway, I think that's about it for me today. I am going to have to go and pick some of these raspberries. If the rain holds off for a little bit, I'll do that now. And as you can see, the birds have been having some, and I figure that I've got enough to share with everybody. So I don't mind sharing with the birds, especially when they've been so prolific this year. So I hardly had any last year. It was their first year. But when I get to trim them back, look at those up there. They're just like trying to find the heavens, look. They just keep going. So I only left 6 to 8 stalks last year, as advised. But this plant is obviously a lot stronger than the other one. So that's it for me for today. I hope you've enjoyed having a walk around my garden, seeing what's growing, what's doing well, what isn't doing so well, what I've just left and I should have sorted out. But like I say, you can't keep on top of everything all the time. My animals always come first, so they always have their needs, everything done, and then the plants come afterwards, but it's still enough to keep us going, still feeds us, still feeds the animals, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, wherever you are, make sure you don't take yourselves too seriously that it upsets you. It's what works, what doesn't, and what you can't get round to, it's not the end of the world. So for now, from me, take care, and I'll catch you soon. I'll get off before it starts raining cats and dogs, because it's absolutely starting to come down. Thanks then. Take care. Bye bye.